for me growing up, I failed a lot, you know. So I always had this chip on my shoulder. I always had to prove something. Like, I had something to prove. Like that's what I felt like, and I felt like because of the fact that I was failing, I was underachieving, I was looked at in a certain way, and that's just drove me to want to achieve more. You feel what I'm saying to you? And I felt that, you know, I started achieving certain things, started getting certain results, and I knew how that felt in comparison to like the failure, you know, failing, like being a failure, how that looks like, and what you get called, and the names, and the feeling that comes with it. So this feeling of success, you know, so to say, it felt amazing, and I wanted to hold on to it, and I wanted it to always be there. But for it to always be there, I had to be perfect. And for me, like that was like the biggest problem. And understanding that and realizing that perfection is not what the goal should be, you know? Because if the goal is perfection and you slip up or you get something wrong, it's difficult for you to even like connect with yourself, you know? And it's hard to start things when you know that the only way that this is going to work is if it's perfect. You're not going to start, because failure's not an option. Failing's not an option, you know? So you're stagnant. But I want to tell you an effective method, yeah, that's going to allow you to be more productive and connect more with failing, you know? Being perfect, I'm not quite sure that that's the thing, you know? I think it's a bit of a trap, and I'm going to be explaining why further, yeah? I'm going to be explaining further in a bit, yeah? Let's get into it. What's going on? My name's Christopher Daniels, and today I'm going to be speaking about the perfectionist trap, you know? And for me personally, like, failure was something that was normal to me, like failing constantly, and that's what it was in school, like throughout school, and like sports times when I was playing sports in school, basketball in particular. I wasn't the best. It was a new sport to me, and then I got a lot of things wrong at the beginning, and then I developed, became better, and you know, didn't take it anywhere like far, but I did see the improvement like throughout the years, and that's something that's good. You know, I can take that away. And one thing that I was terrified of was failing, and that's because I was failing a lot in school at the time, and because of that, there was like these sort of stigmas attached to it as to who you are, as what your identity is. And because I've witnessed that firsthand, I understand wholeheartedly why people are so scared to fail and get things wrong, because of like the names that are attached to it, and how people perceive you based on the results that you're producing. If you're producing X, Y, and Z results, that makes you this sort of person. If you're achieving A, B, and C results, that makes you that sort of person. So why not be perfect, you know, and just get everything right? That's what it seems like. That's the right thing to do, and that's the right thing to aim for. And I'll explain to you why that is a trap. First and foremost, like when you think about it, yeah, there's nothing that you're gonna do in this world that you're gonna get right 100% at the time. You get what I'm saying to you? And when you're looking at perfection, in your head, everything's got to be right. Everything's got to be calculated. Everything's got to be spot on. And if it's not a spot on, you're not going to want to start, because in your head, like, you're thinking, like, say for example, you're even designing a business, or you're going into business, you're thinking, boom, I got to get my website ready. Boom, I got to get my business cards ready. Boom, I got to get X, Y, and Z ready. I got to get this ready. I got to get that ready. And all of these things, yeah, none of them are essential in business. You get what I'm saying to you? None of these are the essentials in business. The most important thing is being able to sell the product that that you have created, that sell the product, whatever it is. And that's what generates the income, right? That's what keeps the business flowing. Having a website, that doesn't keep the business running. If you have a website but no money to even, sell the products that you want to, you don't have money to purchase the products that you want to sell on the website, what sense does that make? You feel what I'm saying to you? That first and foremost, it starts with the basics, and learning to sell, that's a process that includes a lot of failing, a lot of connecting with people, communicating with people, getting things wrong. And if you are a perfectionist, failing in that area of sales, it's going to be difficult. You know, it's going to be difficult to get into business if you are a perfectionist and you don't want to make mistakes, because these things like take time to learn, you know. Marketing, you're going to get things wrong. So especially within these areas like of business and growth and personal development. Even like if you go to the gym, you're gonna get loads of things wrong. You're gonna do exercises wrong. People are gonna have to correct you. And again, if you're a perfectionist and you don't want to get things wrong, you're not gonna start in the first place, because the thought of doing something wrong, that means that you're a failure. Which is actually funny when I think about it, because like there's no room for growth if you don't. That means that the novice and the master are essentially the same, you know. But it can't be that way. But the reason why like it's perceived like that is because if the novice doesn't do anything and the master doesn't do anything, you know, they're just watching at the sideline, but they act like they know what they're doing, you know, you're not going to be able to tell. And a lot of people want to give off this image of being somebody that's knowing, but they don't know. They haven't got a clue. They've never experimented. But you will be found out. You feel what I'm saying? You will be found out. You get me? It's like they say, it's better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in a war. You feel what I'm saying to you? It's like, have that skill. If you don't want to use it, fair enough. But in order to develop and have that skill with you, you're going to have to take risks. You're going to have to get your feet dirty, your hands dirty. You know what I'm saying to you? And that's the way that it goes. And a lot of the time, that's going to include failing. That's going to include making mistakes. That's going to include disappointment on your side. That's going to be like you feeling a bit ashamed or embarrassed or whatever like the feeling is. But after a while, you'll get used to it, and then you overcome it. You understand that this is actually just a part of the process. And then once that understanding comes, you're in the game. That's when change can begin to happen. You feel what I'm saying to you? But until you reach that point, it's going to be difficult for you to understand like what's actually happening and what can go down. You feel what I'm saying to you? So the main thing is understanding first and foremost that when it comes to perfectionism is a myth. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Like, I don't know anyone that's perfect. I've never met anybody. If you have, please introduce them to me or introduce me to them, because I would like to meet them. But I don't think you know anyone either. So, you know, probably not going to happen, is it? But the main thing like to take away from this place and this space is perfectionism will get you trapped. Start, even if you don't know everything that's happening or going to happen, you know, like the website's not developed, you know, or you haven't got everything in order, your business cards are not ready. Like, start. You get what I'm saying? You haven't got like all of the gym equipment ready, but you have your trainers already, and you have like a couple stuff there. Start. You get what I'm saying? You want to film, but you haven't got a camera, but you still have your phone there. Your phone's decent enough to get good imagery. Start. You get what I'm saying? Even if it doesn't get good imagery, just like, I guess, start in a way and then to work your way up, you know? But when you start, make sure that you film it with good quality lighting to give off that crisp look, that crisp finish. You feel me? But yeah, either way, don't stress. Don't panic. Definitely don't panic, because we're here to stay active. Just keep doing you and make things happen. And remember, perfectionism is a myth. Yeah. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure that you do subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of the future ones. And other than that, I will be seeing you again very shortly. Yeah. Blessings.